Curious which beloved summer traditions from the 1970s have disappeared over the years? Let's tune in to our radios, smell the freshly cut grass, gather on the porch, sip lemonade, and share 20 beloved summer traditions from the 1970s that have faded into history. Hit thumbs up as it's a disco ball at your favorite dance party. Subscribe as it's like scoring a date with your teenage heartthrob from Tiger Beat. 1. Waking up to an alarm clock radio. The 1970s started with the loud buzz of a solid brick alarm clock radio, not the gentle chime of a smartphone. Slamming that button was a daily ritual, signaling the start of our adventures, or a reminder that it was, in fact, Saturday a cartoon day. 2. Saturday morning cartoons. Cartoons were a Saturday morning staple. Shows like Super Friends and Scooby-Doo filled the airwaves.
Where are you? We got some work to do.
Racing to the TV was a must, as the first to arrive got to pick the channel. Saturday mornings were magical. We sit mesmerized in front of the TV. From dawn until around 11 a.m., it was all about cartoons like Captain Kangaroo and Romper Room.
Romper, bumper, stomper.
These moments were sacred, a weekly ritual that united kids across the country. There was a lingering 60s vibe that influenced our summers. We made hippy-dippy arts and crafts, sang songs, and watched TV specials like Free to Be You and Me. 3. Newspaper mornings with Dad. While we kids rushed for the TV, Dad sat at the kitchen table, reading an actual newspaper and dreaming about the Cubs winning the World Series. It was a quieter, simpler start to the day for the adults, who would soon join in the weekend fun. 4. Neighborhood adventures. Once the cartoons were over, it was time to head outside. The outdoors were the stomping grounds for children of the time. While many of today's children may be cooped up inside, their faces illuminated by the glow of screens. Remember playing tag, ghost in the graveyard, spud, jump rope, lemon twist, hopscotch, and foursquare. Our days were filled with laughter, scraped knees, and boundless freedom. 5. Otter Pops. Remember those lazy summer afternoons spent tinkering in the kitchen with Mom? Otter Pops were the ultimate DI frozen treat. Just grab a box of Kool-Aid, your favorite flavor, and transform your freezer into a rainbow factory. Fill those popsicle molds, or maybe just the ice cube tray, in a pinch with the brightly colored concoction, pop in a stick, and watch the magic happen. The best part? Waiting for that Kool-Aid to freeze into a sweet, icy treat, the reward for your summertime kitchen adventure. 6. Riding bikes. Back in the 70s, home was wherever your bike was parked. We 70s kids were out and about riding wheel to wheel on our rally chopper bikes, riding around with baseball cards in the spokes to mimic motorcycle sounds. We explored every corner of our neighborhood. The red Stingray bike, with its banana seat and high handlebars, was the prized possession of many kids. 7. Water hose hydration. On those scorching days, the garden hose became our hydration station. The cool, refreshing water was a lifesaver, and we'd take turns gulping down streams of it before returning to our games. 8. Backyard barbecues. Summer weekends were synonymous with backyard barbecues. The smell of burgers and hot dogs on the grill, the red checkerboard tablecloths, and the gathering of friends and family made these cookouts unforgettable. Helping Dad flip burgers was a highlight, even if it meant missing out on some playtime. 9. The magic of movies. Who could forget the summer of 1977? Seeing Star Wars Episode 4 in theaters was a mind-blowing experience. The special effects, the epic storyline. It was pure magic. It wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural phenomenon that left an indelible mark on our childhood. Hey there, fellow nostalgia junkies. If this trip down memory lane is making you smile, laugh, or even shed a tear for those good old days, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button. 10. Cool toys. Summers were also about the coolest toys. The Steve Austin action figure with its bionic eye was a favorite. These toys weren't just objects, they were gateways to endless imagination, transforming ordinary days into extraordinary adventures. Imagine holding the fate of the galaxy in your palm, where Luke Skywalker with his lightsaber stood ready to battle the dark forces led by Darth Vader. Kenner didn't just sell toys, they sold dreams, adventures, and battles between good and evil. With every figure unboxed, kids could recreate their favorite scenes from the movies or invent new ones, making the Star Wars universe their own. 11. Teen Heartthrobs. We spent hours poring over teen magazines like Tiger Beat, swooning over heartthrobs like Shawn, Cassidy, Baio, and Leif, Garrett. These crushes were an essential part of our teenage years, adding a touch of romance and daydreams to our summer days.
So here's what I do. All the leaves are brown.
12. Musical memories. Music was the backdrop of our summers. Disco, yacht rock, the Carpenters, and Bread played from our record players as we danced and sang along. These songs weren't just tunes, they were the soundtrack of our lives, capturing the essence of our youth.
Right on.
13. The disco roller rink. Roller skating was a popular pastime in the 1970s, and disco roller rinks were the place to be. With flashing lights, disco music, and a funky vibe, roller rinks offered a fun and social outlet for people of all ages. Today, roller skating is still enjoyed by some, but disco roller rinks are hard to come by. 14. The local library in the 1970s. The library was a childhood wonderland. Kids browsed shelves overflowing with books, flipped through colorful magazines, and left with stacks of literary treasures. Summer programs turned reading into an adventure. Kids devoured comics, marveled at National Geographic's wonders, and the Dewey Decimal System became a treasure map. Record players spun tales, not just books. Storytime was a magical escape with captivating librarians. Today, the internet holds the key to information and entertainment. With a few clicks, kids access a universe of stories, music, and games. While libraries have adapted, the internet's dominance has undoubtedly changed how kids experience these essential community centers. 15. The CB Radio Craze, or citizens band radios. Truckers and everyday people alike use them to chat with each other on the go. Today, with cell phones and the internet, CB radios are a relic of the past. 16. Baseball game. Back in the 70s, kids didn't need fancy leagues to play baseball. After school, they'd grab their friends, head to the park, and turn any empty space into a baseball field. Every hit felt like a home run, and every catch was a victory dance. Age didn't matter. Bigger kids helped the little ones learn the ropes, and everyone cheered for each other. 17. Community swimming pools. Imagine the sun shining brightly, the sound of splashing water, and the laughter of children echoing through the air. Community pools were the heart of summer fun, where kids would gather with friends armed with colorful floaties and swim caps, ready to dive into hours of aquatic adventure. Do you remember the smell of sunscreen mixed with the chlorine-filled air created a distinctive scent? Families would set up towels and picnic baskets on the deck, sharing sandwiches and popsicles as they soaked up the sun. 18. Sleepovers and Disco. Summer nights in the 70s were all about sleepovers. We'd turn bedrooms into dance parties, playing records super loud. In between dancing, we'd huddle under blankets telling scary stories that made our skin crawl. We were super curious about ghosts, so we might try to talk to them in a spooky meeting. 19. Jell-O pudding pops. Remember the days when a tug of war with your sibling wasn't over the TV remote, but the coveted last Jell-O pudding pop? These were pudding on a stick. A creamy, cold reward after a scorching afternoon spent conquering the monkey bars. Vanilla, chocolate, or even banana, the battle lines were drawn over flavor, and the victor was the one with the brightest, messiest smile.
Well, Miss Kitty Cat, how would you describe Jell-O pudding pops?
Perfect.
20. Bomb pops. Back then, summer days were spent celebrating America's birthday, fireworks lighting up the night sky, and in your hand, a true star of the show, the bomb pop. It was a red, white, and blue explosion of flavored cherry, lime, and blueberry, a patriotic treat that sent your taste buds soaring. With every lick, it was a celebration of summer and all the fun it brought. So there you have it, 20 summer traditions from the 1970s that have faded into history, but live on in our hearts. And if you want more blasts from the past, subscribe to American Vintage Tales.